Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the LSU Tigers, and they sit at number 6 overall in the recruiting rankings right now. Brian Kelly doing a really good job of acquiring talent and making this class one of the best in the country. Now, while the on-field results aren't what you want to see as a Tiger fan, your recruiting class, the class that they have together right now, is very good. The only problem is, since the results on the field aren't as great as you'd expect or that you want them to be, other teams are starting to poach your players or try to get them on campus and potentially flip them as we approach signing day. We're just going to take a quick look at the class, talk about guys they need to hold on to, and then a potential big time target that's still out there that I fully expect LSU to be in it for until the very end. So, starting out, obviously, we all know about Bryce Underwood, the number one player in America. He's a unanimous number one player. He's been the number one player for a very long time as well. This is a guy from Michigan, and it's really been LSU versus Michigan for about a year now. And LSU's doing everything right. Right now, they're doing everything they can to hold on to him. Underwood's saying all the right things. The only problem is LSU is not winning on the field, and Michigan is doing everything in their power to flip him. And I mean, really, the sell is to stay home and be the starting quarterback next year. The rumors out there, I'm sure everyone's seen them by now if you're watching this video. Bryce Underwood has been offered a lot of money. A lot of money. We're talking multi-million-dollar deal to stay and play for Michigan. And he's joked around on Twitter, Instagram, just a little bit about him not taking the money and staying as an LSU Tiger. We'll see what happens as we approach signing day. But nonetheless, that could be the big moment on December 4th. Really, we're not expecting, just due to everything he's saying. That could be the big surprise on signing day. Another big surprise on signing day could be DJ Pickett, their 5-star number 2 corner that's committed from Florida. Now, he has multiple schools pushing for him. You have Miami. They have the hometown ties. He has, I think his brother is playing for them right now, but also his family, huge Miami fans. So they're definitely in his ear. The one thing LSU has going for him is Corey Raymond, the DB coach for the Tigers. That relationship is the main reason DJ Pickett did commit to LSU. And Brian Kelly, I mean, his job security is really based on a couple of these players, Pickett and Underwood included. You have to assume if they lose both of these guys, Brian Kelly might be out the door. But on the flip side, if Brian Kelly leaves while they still have these guys, or they fire him and Pickett's still committed, there's no chance Pickett will be an LSU Tiger after that. You have to assume Miami, Florida, and now Georgia's entered the race as well. He just took a visit to the Dogs over the weekend. He was supposed to be at Florida. He switched that up and went to Georgia. So now this is really like a 4-team race. You got LSU, Florida, Georgia, and Miami in there. That'll be one to follow as we approach signing day. Harlem Berry, running back, number 1 running back in the class. They got Caden Durham last year, one of the better running backs coming out of high school. And you pair him with Berry next year, that's going to be an electric running back duo. Assuming Berry does take that next step and plays a bigger role in the offense next year. Cade Phillips at corner, Charles Ross at linebacker, 2 more top 100 players. Carrier Skern, offensive tackle, also a top 100 player. And now a third guy that they need to hold on to, Derek Meadows. This is one of the best receivers in America, 14th best in the composite. Only problem is Notre Dame is coming for him. They're going very hard on the trail right now to try to flip him. They're negatively recruiting LSU, I'm sure, on-field results. And it's just been the last couple of weeks, really, this team has picked up for Notre Dame. You know, they've gotten him on campus multiple times. And I think that's a big time move for the Irish. I mean, you have to go out, you have to win these battles. And Brian Kelly, it looks like he's going to lose this one. We'll see what happens as we approach signing day. Nonetheless, LSU could lose one of their better commits in their class. Moving on, we got Damian Shanklin and LeJesse Harold, both edge rushers, both top 200 players. Tyler Miller, interior O-lineman, 19th best in America, is also committed. At linebacker, you have Jaden Breaker. You pair him with Charles Ross. 2 dynamic athletes, one from Georgia, one from Texas. And then JT Lindsey, you have him with Harlem Berry. You have an outstanding running back duo in this class. Then the class is shaping up to be very good. And there's nothing to be mad about with this class. You're sitting at 6. Like I said, the big targets are really out the door, besides one guy that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But now it's just about retaining your talent, right? You got to hold on to these guys. Bryce Underwood, DJ Pickett, Derek Meadows. Those 3 guys should be your biggest priority if you're Brian Kelly. And that guy that I mentioned is Jakeem Stewart. He is the hometown kid. He is from New Orleans. He's a number 3 D lineman, 14th player nationally on the composite. And this is the type of guy you need to win big-time football games. He reclassified. He was at one point the number 1 player in the 2026 class. He reclassified now in the 2025. And it's really a 4-team race. And the 4 teams on the screen that are warm, that's very accurate. You have Ohio State, USC, LSU, and Oregon. Many people assume this is going to come down to Ohio State and Oregon at the very end. LSU and USC, what they have going for them is, one, LSU has the hometown, local school. USC, though, on their visit, it sounds like the relationships at USC are as strong as any out of the 4 teams, especially with the D-line coach, defensive coordinator, guys on the team, fellow recruits as well, also considering the Trojans. So this is probably going to be one of the biggest stories as we approach signing day. Jakeem Stewart, where he's going to go. And if I had to rank these 4 contenders, I'd have to go with what many people have said. I think it's Ohio State and Oregon at the top, whatever 2. And then LSU and USC are probably tied. I mean, I think it's 2 at the top and then 2 right behind them. And I think that's evident in the visit schedule. You have Oregon this weekend for Stewart, and then you have Ohio State November 29th for the Michigan game. So yeah, this is probably the biggest recruitment Brian Kelly's had since Bryce Underwood and DJ Pickett, who he did get to commit, but now you have to do it again. Because if you lose the hometown kid to Ohio State or Oregon, USC, really any of the 3, and you lose Underwood or you lose Pickett, it's not going to look great, and you're not winning on the field. So yeah, Brian Kelly, he does have his work cut out for him. Other guys that LSU's going after, there really wasn't many. Like I said, they have this class pretty set in stone. Jakeem Stewart's the only one that 247 thinks is the top target. Yeah, they had multiple guys decommit. They lost a lineman to Ole Miss, interior lineman to Ole Miss. Yeah, other than that, you have to like where they sit. LSU fans, let me know down below what you think about your class. Like I said, you're sitting at 6th overall, and you still have one really good player on the board. Now it's just a matter of fact if you can hold on to the guys that you have and finish in that top 10. Before you head out, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. It's greatly appreciated if you press that button and turn on notifications. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next video.